fantastic. I've got a pair of Ugg boots on my Christmas list. I came out to my family, and then I came out in high school. I remember riding my bike, not my bike, but my big wheel. We lived on a corner lot, and my parents had laid concrete up to the front door around the house and then back around. So I'd ride my big wheel in this track around the house. I remember seeing Mrs. Panion for the first time, and I think my foot slipped off the pedal. She is a very voluptuous Mexican woman. My mother is Korean, so she's very, she's a very boyish figure. And when I saw her body, it was very different from my mother's. I think that was like my very first attraction to a woman, even though I had no idea what it was back then.
I think when I used to watch Sea Hunt with Lloyd Bridges, and there was something about their not having a shirt on was attractive. I didn't know what it was, why. And as I got a little bit older, I thought I was the only one, that there was nobody like me. And I am 58, so I grew up in a time where people weren't out. I got married and had 3 children, and then I was working with a coworker and realized that I couldn't stay married anymore.
I got really tired of lying about it. I didn't want to keep one lie led to another one, and I just came to a point where I felt like I had nothing to be ashamed of. With my family, my sister had read my diary and very loudly approached me about it, and my parents overheard her.
That was probably the hardest thing to do, to leave my family. I didn't tell my parents, I didn't tell my sister, my brother, I didn't tell anyone. When I was about 40, my partner, which we had split up, son was killed in an accident, and my father asked me how he was doing. And that was just the time to tell my dad that my friend was more than a friend.
I couldn't watch TV, I couldn't take telephone calls, I couldn't go outside. And so she finally lurched around the corner and she's like, "Is it true? Is it true?" And I was like, I said, "Ma, don't ask me this question unless you're ready for the answer." And she's like, "Just tell me, is it true?" And I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ." And I just wanted something to change. And I looked at her and I said, "Yes, it's true." And then she looked at me and she goes, "You'll never see the light of day." She's like, takes a big drag off her cigarette. So I was grounded for probably my entire junior year of high school.
So he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, "We just need to, get you some help." And I said, "Well, I've already been to the psychologist, I've been to church, I got married, had a family, it didn't change anything. My dad's blind in his left eye." So I said, "Dad, that blind eye of yours, we just need to get you to the optometrist." And he just looked at me and smiled and says, "Okay, I understand." That was the end of it. He did tell me a gay joke 2 weeks later, which meant to me that he was okay with it.
In high school, there was this very large football player whose locker butted up to the back of mine. He just felt like calling me names in between periods, the dyke and lesbian. And so finally one day I just turned around and I was like, "Do you have a problem with me getting more pussy than you?" So I kind of outed myself, I guess. It got him off my back. I was happy with that.
The time that I actually knew that for sure I was gay was about after high school when I graduated, I ended up meeting this guy in college, and we started hanging out, talking. I had found out that he was gay, and he also, at the time, he was in a relationship with someone else. So I was a little bi-curious. I asked some questions and just started to get kind of interested in it. And I feel if you don't try, you don't necessarily know.
When did I know I was gay? When did I not know? I think, I think I was a little later. I was probably around, I think I was 13. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was in 8th grade. I think you know Gibson and Braveheart. That's all I gotta say about that.
I think I knew I was gay when I was in high school, and I would just watch the football team, you know, pounded on the ground, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, I didn't really come out till I was 21 or 22, and then I started hitting up the bar scenes and stuff.
Okay, that's how we met.
Okay. My coming out story. It happened actually 8 months ago. Coming out to the family was something that I was dreading most. I realized that so many different people and their families are very different. I felt it was time for me to just totally reach out. I told my mother I just couldn't take it anymore. Also my dad, which was very hard, and told them that I'm gay.
I came out, I was more outed. It was horrible, I was outed. If that's even possible. I had, like everyone in 2004 and 5, created MySpace accounts, and I'd done the same, and I was open online, and I wasn't at home. So my sister, always late to the game, she created her profile. I'll never forget, a week before Thanksgiving, she decided it was a good idea to look me up. And of course mine was open. She read through, and under the details section it lists orientation, and of course it says gay. And then she immediately told my father. And then she immediately told everyone in my family. And then, like, I don't know, I got a phone call later that night from my dad, like really upset. And he's just like, what is this? And I was just like, you know what? I'll talk to you when I see you this weekend. We'll carry that conversation.
When I was 20, you know how you watch, remember MTV Uncensored, and you know, you watch that show, you want to dress like those guys on TV. I started dressing like that, and my mom noticed. So on Valentine's Day, I wore this red V-neck sweater from Express and my dark skinny denims. And my mom came in the bathroom while I was getting ready. I was doing my hair. Said, "Why are you dressing like this now?" Da, 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 da. And so I just got fed up, and I was just like, "You know what, Mom? I'm gay." And she was like, "Okay." And just went back to the kitchen, started cooking me lunch. That's basically how I came out.
This is who I am, and I'm very proud of the person I am, and being gay doesn't change anything.
You know, I wouldn't change that. You know, you have to be honest and open. Something that used to weigh on our minds for so long suddenly becomes a non-issue. I wonder what was the big deal in the first place. You know, why didn't I do this earlier?
Like you said, I didn't want to live in the dark. It felt like the dark, right? Because everything you had, you know, the boys you slept with, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't tell nobody. But I wanted to come out because I was tired of hiding.
Yeah. Even if you don't say it publicly, at least accept yourself internally. And it'll work out itself eventually.
We all have our own story.
Our own experiences.
Some good, some bad.
But we live our lives to share, to tell, to live, to celebrate.
Going out and coming out.